As dog owners, there's this one question that's always in the back of our minds, right? Is my dog really happy? I mean, of course, we love them to pieces, but are we actually giving them the best life possible? Well, today we're going to find out. Because think about it, there's a huge difference between a dog that's just loved and one that is absolutely thriving. And since they can't exactly sit us down for a chat, they show us. They show us through their habits, their little quirks, and their actions every single day. And if you see these behaviors in your own dog, well, it's a pretty clear sign that you're doing an amazing job as a pet parent. So today, we are going to decode the 12 key signs that prove it. It's so great to have you here with us on Love Dogs, where we're all about getting to know our furry best friends just a little bit better. All right, let's dive right in. We're going to start with the big ones, the most obvious signs. Those huge, energetic, you can't miss them expressions of pure, unfiltered joy. So in this first part, we're going to talk about the full body wiggle, that kind of strange habit they have of bringing you gifts, and why those playful little mock battles are actually a really, really good sign. Okay, so this first one is super important to get right. A simple tail wag, well, that can be complicated. It could mean a lot of things. It just means a dog is feeling something. But a full body wiggle, oh, that's a whole different story. That is literally the dog version of a giant ear-to-ear grin. There's just no mistaking. Yeah, there's actually a name for it. The well-known canine behaviorist Dr. Stanley Coren calls this social joy. And what that means is the feeling is just so intense, so powerful, that your dog's body can't even contain it. It bursts out in this amazing wibbly-wobbly dance of pure happiness. All right, what about this one? Your dog trots over, so proud, and drops a gross, slobbery sock right in your lap. It seems a little goofy, right? But it's actually this incredibly profound act. This isn't just them saying, hey, let's play. It's what's called social sharing. They're sharing something they value with you, treating you like a super important member of their pack. And that same idea of connection goes for play fighting too. You see that little playful crouch and then the pounce, and it might look a little rough, but it's actually a very sophisticated game. An expert named Dr. Mark Bekoff talks about how dogs use meta-communication, things like that classic play bow, which is basically their way of yelling, hey, this is just for fun. I'm not being serious. They're respecting your rules. They often even let you win, because the whole point of the game isn't to win. It's just to be with you. Okay, so from those big, joyful moments, let's move on. Let's talk about the quieter, but maybe even deeper signs. The ones that show your dog feels completely safe and trusts you, no questions asked. In this next part, we're going to get into why sleeping belly up is such a huge deal, the surprising meaning behind your dog showing you their butt, and what it really means when your dog is a slow eater. I love this one. I always call it the crime scene pose. You know the one, paws flopped in the air, belly completely exposed to the world. Seeing this is a massive behavioral milestone. A dog's belly is where all their vital organs are. It's their most vulnerable spot. So for them to sleep like this, it means they have absolutely zero fear. It means you've created a home that feels completely and totally safe to them. Okay, now this next one, it's gonna sound a little weird. If your dog turns their back to you, please don't think they're snubbing you. It's actually the complete opposite. It's the ultimate compliment. In the dog world, showing their rear end is their way of saying, I trust you so much, I know you've got my back. Think about a dog's ancient survival instincts, right? They tell them to scarf down their food as fast as possible because eating is a vulnerable time. So if your dog just casually eats at a relaxed pace when you're around, or even pauses mid-bite to look up at you, that's huge. It means they feel zero threat. They trust you and their home so completely that they can actually relax and savor their food. So all of this trust, it builds this incredible foundation for an even deeper connection. And that's what we're going to talk about in our third section. The behaviors that show your relationship has gone from just owner and pet to a real, true social partnership. Coming up, we'll cover why your dog checks in on you from across the room, the meaning of the cuddle and go, and how they're listening to you even when you haven't said a single word. Have you ever had this happen? You're just chilling on the couch, you look over, and you catch your dog just
quietly watching you from across the room. It feels special, and it is. That's not a random glance. In fact, research shows this is a behavior that's pretty much unique to the bond between dogs and humans. It's a clear sign of a really deep social connection. There's a fancy scientific name for it, of course. It's called referential monitoring. But all it really means is that they're checking in. They're not waiting for you to say sit or give them a treat. They're just connecting with you, strengthening that social bond that means so much to them.
And hey, what about the dog that comes over, cuddles for a few minutes, and then gets up and goes to nap on the other side of the room? It's so easy to feel a little rejected, right? But don't. A veterinary behaviorist named Dr. Karen Overall calls this secure attachment. It means your dog feels safe enough to come get affection from you, but also confident enough to go have their own space. It's actually the perfect, healthy balance of love without any anxiety.
All right, for our final section, let's talk about the most subtle signs of all. These are the quiet ones, the ones that are so easy to miss, but they are such powerful indicators that your dog is in a state of deep, calm, happy satisfaction. We're going to break down the side roll melt, that long, contented sigh they do, and why a calm goodbye when you leave is actually one of the biggest compliments they can give you. You know this move. You start petting your dog while they're sitting up, and they just slowly melt onto their side, almost like an ice sculpture on a warm day. Dr. Patricia McConnell calls this a massive emotional clue. It's your dog both physically and emotionally just letting their guard down. In that moment, their trust in you is completely overpowering their natural instinct to be vigilant.
And what about that long, deep sigh, the one your dog lets out when they finally settle down next to you? It's easy to think it's boredom, or maybe they're annoyed, but it's not. That's actually their nervous system switching into rest and recover mode. It's the literal physical sound of contentment. It's your dog's way of saying, life is good. So when you put all of this together, you can really see the 4 pillars of what makes a dog truly thrive. It starts with that big, unfiltered joy, the wiggles and the silly gifts. That builds into complete trust, where they'll show you their belly. From there, it deepens into a true social bond, where they're checking in with you. And finally, it all settles into that quiet contentment, captured in a single, happy sigh. Look, if you recognize even a few of these behaviors in your dog, you should be so proud. It means you're not just loving your dog, you're genuinely helping them thrive. And if you want to keep learning even more ways to understand your best friend, please make sure you subscribe to us here at Love Dogs. And that really leaves us with just one last thought, because beyond any list, every single dog is unique, right? So I want to ask you, what's the one special thing your dog does that lets you know without a shadow of a doubt that they are living their absolute best life? Thanks so much for joining us.